What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Patrick. I'm the host of New Joke City. We're here in the Big Apple trying to find the next up-and-coming comedian and what their process is from finding material on the streets and taking it to the stage. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you keep an eye out for our YouTube page.
Do you have like a 70s beat, like a 70s porno beat? Yes. Give me that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see you guys. Yeah. He knows his 70s porn, doesn't he?
I felt good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It only took 20 times. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to New Joke City. I am your host, Ryan Patrick, and today we are actually in the beautiful Bronx. Specifically, we are at the Joker Stairs, and we're actually going to be speaking with nationally touring comedian Cannistraci.
Hi, Ryan.
How are you?
Good. You're in the Bronx, in my borough, my beloved borough.
I feel like we're at home, especially it being the Joker Steps. Just being you're more.
I'm definitely
You're
at home.
way more established being a comedian than I am. I'm more aspiring, but I mean, this is like iconic.
It is iconic.
You know, it came up on my Apple Maps. Like,
Comedians, we just walk around with a microphone.
we just walk around like this is our life.
This is it.
So Tara.
It was life in the pandemic.
Yeah, seriously. Did you do a lot of like outdoor comedy and stuff?
I did.
How's
I did.
that?
The irony is, like, in 2020, I was like, I'm gonna start being a little more picky about the gigs I say yes to. And then come March, I was like, do you have a garage with 6 chairs in it? I'll perform anywhere.
That's so great. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, you know.
Yeah, and I did. You know, I was lucky enough to perform in parks all over the city during that time. So
How difficult is that to perform in parks and like garages and a bunch of random spots compared to like a comedy club?
I mean, perfect example. We're filming right now. There's music going on.
Yeah.
You know, horns honking. Same with the park shows. It was like there was a quinceañera to your right. There was dance Zumba to your left. You had 2 babies in the audience. You were like, all right, here's my abortion joke. Hope it goes well. Hope you guys enjoy it. But it was challenging at the same time. It kept us fresh. It kept us working. And it was the year of being grateful for anything. So I was really happy to do them. Right? Does it feel good to be back out? I know comedians, we need it. We really need it. We had a rough. Yeah, I was doing park shows in New York City. I lived in New York City, and New York City public parks were hiring us. This is how desperate we were, just to perform in public parks. Right? So I'm not kidding. I'd go out there. They'd be like a stick in the mud. Right? They'd be like a dance Zumba to my right. Right? A quinceañera to my left. A baby in the audience. Right? Like, don't go anywhere. I got a great abortion joke.
How long have you been doing stand-up for?
I'm doing it about 9 years now.
9 years.
9 years full time now. Yeah, I don't count anything before doing it full time.
Do you count COVID as a year as well? I guess.
You know what I do, because I worked the entire time for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, not even. I'll you know, Zoom was even a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I count it.
That's wild. What made you want to be a comic? You know, I feel like everybody always talks about like, oh yeah, I would love to do it, but nobody ever really like acts on it. You know, what gave you that push?
I mean, I think I always wanted to do it, and I never acted on it till late because maybe you think like I can't really do it. I always wanted to do it. Like I grew up. My aunt said I was like 2 years old, and I'd be in my diaper hitting the TV, being like Johnny. Like I wanted to watch the Johnny Carson show too. My mom said at like 6, I already knew who the host for SNL would be. I'd be bargaining with her to like stay up late at night. So I guess comedy, I was always fascinated by it. I didn't do it till my 20s though. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started in my 20s. I was in a sketch comedy play, and somebody said, why don't you go up and warm up the audience? You've always wanted to do stand-up. And like the first few times, they had to like push me on stage to do it. I was like petrified. And then by the end of the month, I was like, couldn't wait to get out.
Really? Do you think you would have ever expected yourself to be where you're at now compared to where you were back then?
I don't know. I think when you're young, you think you can, you know, you have goals. I don't think I thought. It definitely took long enough.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be a 20-year overnight success.
There you go, yeah.
I think you always want more. I think you want to be at a certain point, and then you're at that point, and you're already looking at the next point. I think.
Yeah. Do you usually set a lot of goals when it comes to stand-up? And
in 2020 I didn't, but I do. Yeah, you always. Really. I think the goal always, initially, I would think with any comic is like I want to just pay my bills. If I can just do this and pay my bills, then I'll be all right. And then you get to that point, and then you're like, okay, but if I could just, there's always, the next level, which is good, but I'm trying, like I think we spoke about this earlier, I'm trying to stay present in the moment, be grateful for what I have now.
That's good though. Yeah, because I mean, even just aspiring comics, they always want like the TV set, but they're not setting smaller goals and they're not really appreciating what they're doing. Like the fact that you're just making people laugh for a living that's a huge success in itself. Not too many people can say they do that, which is awesome.
I also don't know if I'm PC enough anymore. This year also made me question a lot about like my content and how it's going to be received.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you like?
Moving
talk about?
I'm very observational, so nothing is really hands off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a New York girl, Italian New York, so that was like the foundation for my comedy to begin with. Like everything I see comes from, my Italian New York upbringing. They say like start with what you know, and I certainly did that. Like you start with yourself, and then you move on. And I've moved on, and I've evolved. And a lot of my comedy is just observational. Little insult. I write everything out. I do a lot of my initial like my initial thoughts for some reason are in the shower. I'm not trying to. That's not like me trying to get sexual or anything. I just feel like I'm always on the move and always doing things. So when I have that moment to just be, that's when my mind starts really going, and I start like talking out ideas, and then I always write them down.
I always like to hear this, but what was your first, I guess, performance like? Like, did you kill? Did you bomb? Like,
I think it's so funny because I read The Alchemist, and they talk about beginner's luck when you're really set to do something. And I think my first show, I was like, the minute you get that first laugh, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a star.
Yeah.
I'm amazing at this, Not, but so I think I had a good first few shows. I think not knowing how not good I was helped me stay in it.
That's good though.
Because the shows then after that weren't as good.
Did you hit a lot of open mics up, or like?
I did. I hit them open mics, and I hit up like a lot of local clubs. I always tell new comics that's the best thing to do, is to get into a local club, because you're always going to have nationally touring comics come through. And
yeah,
that's
true.
Want maybe perhaps a local poster feature. So if you get in good with a club, it's a great way to network and kind of meet other comics.
That is true.
And that's what I did, for the most part.
I mean, I feel like that's a piece of advice that not many people mention, is find a local club and try to work there.
Right.
Just so, oh my gosh, I'm getting a workout today.
Right.
It's crazy because nobody realizes that stand-up. People think just stand-up is just getting on stage and doing jokes, but nobody understands it's like it's almost like you got to do marketing, your own sales, your own
I was just having
a
conversation with another comic who just went full-time, and he's like, it's a full-time job.
It's crazy.
Putting up the content, editing the content, writing the new jokes, touring, like getting up in the city, a few nights a week. Like, it is a full-time job.
That's wild.
And it has all those different, facets.
That's so crazy. And I feel like having a support system is huge. Like, to do this alone mentally, that's got to be
I mean, I always say, like, you get up on stage alone, but you didn't get up there alone.
That's a good quote. So now, I mean, you've gotten to the level where you're touring nationally, you're doing shows kind of all over the place. And, I mean, you can pretty much say that. You pay your bills with comedy. So, like, there's nowhere to go but down.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
And that's probably what I'll be trying. Can we cut?
What's some advice that you would give to younger comedians?
I would say, as much as everybody says the same thing, get up every night, mics, constantly write. It's very easy to quit or want to quit, because, like any entertainment industry, the rejection can be hard. The bombs can be hard.
Were you a resilient person when you first started? Like, was resilience?
I'm a resilient person now. I probably want to quit every other week if something doesn't go my way. I mean, no, I don't ever really want to quit. No, I'll never actually quit. That's just what this is. It's a roller coaster. It's ups and downs. So if you're up for the ride, I would say just stick with it. That's the best advice. It doesn't make a difference you know, as long as you just stick with it, you continue to get up, you continue to write your own material, nobody else's. Growing up, I loved like the Carol Burnett and the Lucille Ball. I love the physicality of them as a female, as females in comedy. That was on screen. So I think I'm very animated. In my delivery, I don't know. I mean, I loved Colin Quinn. I mean, who doesn't? But I don't think I emulate him at all. I don't even have, you know, the same delivery or writing power. But I do remember going as a young comic, and I guess that's what I would say to other comics. Go to shows. You're not going to watch and steal, but you're going to learn. I watch comedy online. You have to be a student of it. You know, for me anyway.
I feel like
that's the advice I would give people.
Go to like your open mic, see the top comedians in your local area, and work that way. And you also need to see bad sets too. You know,
you also need to have bad sets.
Yes.
I always say the only way to have a great joke is for it to start out bad.
Yes.
I've had jokes that I've loved from the beginning, but for the most part, if I've done a joke for a few years, it's definitely evolved and changed. And another great tip. As much as I hate the sound of my own voice, and I probably won't even watch this episode, record your sets. Record your sets and force yourself to listen to them, because you may not remember where you got the laugh or how you delivered something.
That's true.
So I think that's really important. You always want to pretend like you're having a conversation with the audience, but in the beginning you're going to sound like a record.
Yeah.
But you won't if you continuously listen.
That's good though.
If you know your material, eventually it's going to be a conversation.
That's a huge piece of advice that everybody needs to know. Well, you know, we kind of talked about where you started, what you're doing now, and where you want to go. I know you said you probably won't watch this episode, but are you ready to do a set right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the soubrette hot dog guy is ready for me to do my set. Is that where we're doing it?
Perfect. Okay. All right, let's go set it up.
All right, let's do it.
Fast and Furious. Love it. What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan Patrick, and this is New Joke City. How we doing, McDonald's? Yes. I thought I had so much more to achieve in life, but I just realized my life is peaked right now. This is awesome. What's going on? How we doing? Happy Sunday. You guys not watching the Yankees at all? No? Sunday Fun Day. What up? What better spot than the park outside of McDonald's? You guys just posted up chilling, or are you getting food? About to go in? Nice, good stuff. I love performing in front of the Yankee Stadium. We did the Mets last week, and they're the worst. Mets fans? Oh my gosh, make you hate sports. Anybody here from Jersey? Got Jersey people? Jersey? No? Yeah? Where in Jersey?
Patterson.
Oh, word. Nice. I live in like the deep north. Jersey, and I like to tell people that because it's way different than the deep south. Like in the deep south, those people, they like, I don't know, I think they kind of like kiss their cousins. But in the north, it's way different. Like all of our cousins play hard to get. Like, I just want a family member with benefits. That's all I want, you know? I don't think I'm gonna live in my neighborhood. Oh, this is great. I got background music. Am I getting upstage right now? I don't know. I feel like I'm in a music video right now. This is good. It's a good song. This is what it feels like to announce at the Met Gala, probably, you know? Yeah, but I was saying, I don't think I'm gonna live in my neighborhood for too long in Jersey, because it's not like a very cultured neighborhood. Like my neighbor and I, we were talking about music, and I was like, oh yeah, bro, like, do you like reggaeton? And he's like, oh hell yeah, I love all kinds of pasta. I'm like, what, dude? Sucks. Guys, let me give it up for a big time professional comedian. Give it up for the very funny Cannistraci. Yeah.
Give it up. Give it up for Ryan, guys. Let him hear you. Right? Isn't he a great example of why you should never sleep with a comedian? No, I'm doing this 10 years. Do you want to know why you never sleep with a comic? Do you want to know why? Because after you sleep with a comic, they say the same thing they say when they get off stage. Right? Like, I usually do much better. I was trying out new stuff. If you want next time, I'll go longer. I'm like, get the fuck off. Like, get off me, get off the side.
Well, he asked if we had Jersey in the house, but do we have the Bronx in the house? The Bronx? We're in the Bronx. We really have nobody else but me from the Bronx. Seriously? Where are you from with your essential water? You're not from the Bronx? Where are you from? Brooklyn? Brooklyn counts. It's a borough. Let me tell you something. When you start traveling, like I started traveling now with comedy, when you tell people you're from the Bronx, their whole face gets distorted, right? We're famous here in the Bronx. Like somebody else is like, oh, where you from? I'm like, the Bronx, right? And they're like, right? They don't know what to say. They think they're complimenting me. You ever get this, Brooklyn? I'll be like, oh, I'm from the Bronx. And they'll be like, oh, really? Some parts are still nice, right? I'm like, every day I walk down the streets of the Bronx, I know I'm blessed. Absolutely. I know I'm blessed. And I know that because they tell me, right? You know, right? It's like, God bless you, Ma, God bless you. Right? I'm like, oh my God, thank you, right? He's like, que Dios bendiga, mamacita, what, right? I'm like, thank you, Juan. I don't know if that's his name, but I'm in the Bronx. I'm in the Bronx. I'm from New York, New York, Georgia. What do you think of my borough? Like it, right? The train going as I'm living my dream on a subway platform. My career was taking off in 2020. And here I am. Oh man, I'll tell you this. When you're from New York, when you're from the East Coast of America, we speak a lot differently than they do anywhere else. Yes? I'm right, right? So we do. We speak differently. So I'll give you an example. I get to perform now. I was performing in Canada a lot. And let me tell you, they didn't understand me at all, right? When I was off stage. They're nicer than you guys, but Canadians they are way nicer. They right? They say A. So listen, I go to a store. Tell me if you get this, Georgia. I went to a store out in Canada, right? Kid behind the counter was so nice to me. He's like, if you become a member, you can get 15% off your purchase. I'm like, all right, sign me up, right? He goes, what's your first name? Tara. What's your last name? Cannistraci. He goes, what's your street name? Right, Brooklyn? I'm like, my street name? I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes my friends call me T-Money. Right, you get it.
Can I borrow your pants?
Right?
Can I borrow your pants?
Not while they're on me, but thanks. I was gonna do a punchline, but fuck it. You're definitely, your intoxication level is way more entertaining than that punchline would have been.
He goes, I can just take your information. He was so nice. I was like, all right, just take my information down. He goes, what's your first name? Tara. What's your last name? Candace. What's your street name? Right? I go, my street name? I go, I don't know. I go, sometimes my friends call me T-Money. He was just looking at me, right? So now Canadians, I think I'm a genius, right? I keep going. I'm like, oh, this is cute. I'm like, is this like a fun email blast that you put out? And you just like send it, like, address us with our street name? He's like, I'm sorry. I go, put down T-Money. He's like, what street do you live on? I'm like, you wanted my address? I'm like, get me to 40 people at Broadway Comedy Club. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'll leave you guys with this. You guys want one joke that kills before I get off? And you hear it if you want. You guys want one joke that kills?
You like that, right, Brooklyn? Yeah. I'm gonna be famous one day, and I'm gonna look back at this, and I'm gonna wish I never did it. Thanks, Rich and Dave and Ryan. I will say this: want one joke that kills before I get off? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. You want one joke that kills? I need to hear it if you want it, Brooklyn. You want one joke that kills before I get off? You guys want one joke that kills? So I just turned 41. And I think women get better with age. You're young, I can tell you're young. But by like 35, you're gonna hit your prime. Alright? I will say this though, at 35, because I was a woman, the only advice I ever got was to have a baby. Like that's all anybody ever told me to do with my life, right? Have a baby, right? My mother had even called me. My mother was like, Tara, just have a baby, right? They're priceless. Brooklyn, are babies priceless? No, I'm like, I think it costs a lot of money to have a baby. It costs a lot of money. I've already spent $800, right, trying to not have 2 of them. Guys, that's a lot of money, right? And I promised you that joke killed. All right, everybody, I'm at Tara Jokes. Thank you for humbling me in 2021. I didn't think it could get more humble than I did, but give it up for Ryan.
Tara, Candace, everybody! Like they said, we are New Joke City. I'm the host, Ryan Patrick. Make sure you check us out on Instagram. Oh, that's alright, man. No, spend it on something like a Yankees jersey or pine tar that the pitchers use here. Alright, cool.